Have you ever wondered the effects that a yeast infection might have on your body? Have you ever had a localized or systemic yeast overgrowth? Did you know that it can drastically prevent you from losing weight and actually causing you to gain weight? That is what happens. And that's what happens most all of the time. You see, the Candida albicans organism, which is the most common organism, fungal organism in the body. There are others. There are many others, but that's the most common. And because of that, we find it present in every single person's body. We all have the Candida albicans organism in our gastrointestinal tract. But in spite of that, we have little or no idea why it's there. And that being considered, fortunately, the Candida organism doesn't cause much problem for most of us, except when the chemistry of the gastrointestinal tract becomes unbalanced. You see, the Candida organism is kept under control by beneficial bacteria, which we call probiotics, Acidophilus, and the whole family. Well, when a situation occurs that causes the beneficial bacteria to decline or be destroyed, such as the use of antibiotics, steroids, birth control pills, or even in transmission such as sexual transmission. And those issues or instances cause a rapid destruction of the beneficial bacteria. At that point, the Candida overgrowth can explosively multiply, and it does in many cases. This leads to a localized yeast infection, which often manifests itself as a vaginal yeast overgrowth or jock itch in males. Well, if this situation continues for any length of time, the Candida overgrowth can enter the bloodstream, and then you have a condition called systemic candidiasis. One of the side effects of this is weight gain and or inability to effectively and easily lose weight. Why is this? Because the Candida albicans organism, its metabolism is slightly lower than that of the average human body. And the more it multiplies throughout the body, and common sites include the liver, the sinuses, the lungs, the bronchioles, even brain fluid. The more it proliferates, the slower it makes your metabolism. And I think there's probably little or no one out there who understands that problem and what that can occur. Secondly, the Candida albicans overgrowth, when it becomes excessive, puts an undue stress upon your metabolism, upon your body chemistry in general. That excess stress causes the adrenal glands to secrete starvation and otherwise hormones. One of those hormones is cortisol. Cortisol is the fat-retaining hormone. It's designed to conserve energy, to conserve body weight, body fat. So between the two concepts, it can make weight loss extremely difficult. It can actually cause weight gain in some individuals. The reason why it's important to get this organism under control outside of the obvious is not only for weight gain, but for a whole host of other metabolic problems that can occur when the Candida albicans organism overgrows. But for our discussion today, if you are in a position where you are gaining weight for no apparent reason, if you are trying to lose weight and you are fighting the battle of the bulge, systemic yeast overgrowth might be a problem, might be a factor. So how do you know? Well, the first thing we have to do is establish whether you likely have a yeast overgrowth in the first place. And the best way to do that is through our Candida evaluation. You see, there's no medical test for Candida because we all test positive, because we all have the organism. But what we do is we go by a cluster of symptoms. The larger the cluster, the more likely it is being driven by yeast overgrowth. So the first step is to determine if that is in fact the case. And you can do that by going to our research website at thecandidaclinic.com. Right on the home page, you can take our free Candida evaluation test. And when you submit that, we will then know, or at least have a very good idea, whether yeast overgrowth is at your various problems, including the weight issue. Once we receive your evaluation, we will have a look and give you a call, and at that point in time, we will discuss the options that are available to you. Suffice it to say that systemic yeast overgrowth can be effectively and safely eliminated over a period of time. So it is not something that you have to feel like you have to live with. And should you have any questions about this, you can reach my office at 888-454-8464. This is Dr. Whiting. Stay safe.